The question across the state, who will replace Senator Marco Rubio on Capitol Hill? Well, we found out today. Welcome in, everyone, here to ABC Action News at 5. I'm Paula Groen.
And I'm Lauren St. Germain. Thanks for joining us. Today, Governor Ron DeSantis tapped Florida Attorney General Ashley Moody from Plant City to finish Rubio's term.
Capitol reporter Forrest Saunders joining us live from Tallahassee tonight with insight into this decision. And Forrest, Moody was definitely one of those names that insiders kept talking about.
Yeah, so today probably wasn't a huge surprise if you're a political nerd like I am. I mean, for weeks now, we've heard a lot of speculation that it was going to be Moody, and part of the reason why was because DeSantis didn't want to pick anybody from Congress for fear that it would hurt the GOP majority there. We also saw Lara Trump, the daughter-in-law of the president-elect, say that she wasn't going to be in the running anymore, taking her name out of consideration. So you're left with Moody, and depending on who you ask, mixed reviews on her future as the next U.S. Senator from Florida.
I am selecting our Attorney General, Ashley Moody, to serve as our next U.S. Senator.
With that, Florida has its next U.S. Senator, ready and waiting to officially take office in the coming days.
This guy used to be in Congress, and he says to me and has said to me, I don't know why anybody would want that job. I probably won't like it. But I'm ready to show up and fight for this nation and fight for President Trump to deliver the American First agenda on day one.
Since getting elected as Florida AG in 2018, Moody made a name for herself by repeatedly suing the Biden administration. Whether it was over COVID mandates, illegal immigration, Title IX, or Biden's student loan forgiveness program.
President Biden, this is not government money. This is American taxpayer money. This is Florida. Floridians' taxpayer money.
The choice was ultimately up to Governor Ron DeSantis. He mulled it for months with a heap of choices, including President-elect Trump's daughter-in-law. But ultimately, it came down to this.
I can get a binder on somebody. I can watch some of their interviews, whatever. But I've also been alive working for 6 years alongside the Attorney General, and she's never let us down once. Not one time in 6 years, and that matters to me.
Fellow Republicans giving rave reviews on the appointment, both the House and Senate leaders included. The chair of the state GOP also offering kudos.
And I think that she'll be able to have that knowledge and bring it to the Senate to say, listen, the last 4 years were a disaster, and I can tell you why, because I went to court to fight those disasters.
Democrats tell a different tale, noting Moody was once a moderate member of their party, switching to Republican in 1998. Her former college classmate and Florida Dems chair Nikki Fried had this to say.
I have known Ashley Moody for close to 30 years, both my time at the University of Florida and then serving in the Florida cabinet with her. And I can sit in all sincerity, sit here and say, I have not a clue what this woman stands for.
Moody's departure also means Florida's AG office opens up, and the governor is already tipping his hand, saying his chief of staff, James Uthmeyer, is likely to get the tap.
We've spent the last 6 years working to make Florida kind of the beacon of hope for the rest of the country.
You might remember him for the governor's fight to defeat abortion and recreational weed ballot initiatives.
You're the chief of staff. Why are we talking about amendments in the first place?
Well, when it comes to defending Florida's laws, Florida's well-being, this is not a new thing. Administrations for generations past have fought to defend state laws and oppose amendments that we believe are going to hurt our way of life.
He, too, is likely to prove a controversial figure for Democrats, though praise already coming in from Republicans across the state. Okay, so let's talk about Moody and her next steps here real quick. First and foremost, she's got to officially get sworn in as the next U.S. Senator. That's probably going to happen here in the next couple of days, sometime around Trump's inauguration, which is January 20th. After that, she holds the seat until 2026. Then you have a special election, and if she wants to run again, she can do so and run until 2028. And that is when we will have a general election and a full term, 6 years as U.S. Senator, if she would like it. Paul?
Yeah, well, and Forrest, another big election will happen in 2026 for the next governor of Florida. And you got to wonder if Moody is just going to keep the seat warm in the Senate, or does she have her eyes on the governor's mansion? And does DeSantis switch places with her, run for the Senate before the 2028 presidential election? Not to get too far ahead of ourselves here.
No, but I mean, hey, Florida musical chairs is a thing right now, right? We don't really know who's going to end up where for sure in the coming days. But I'll tell you right now, I would have loved to be a fly on the wall as those two were discussing the future of this Senate seat. Moody has given no indication as to whether or not she's going to actually jump into the race for governor in 26 and if she's just a placeholder. So I will say this. This is one thing to really keep in mind here. When you are an incumbent senator, it's a lot easier to run for re-election. So that's something to keep in mind too. She may not want to give up that seat given how much authority, power, and then the ability to kind of get reelected, and that's a 6-year term. It's a pretty cushy job, Paul.
Yeah, 2-year head start for sure. For Saunders live in Tallahassee.